Hi, Rod from the Fleet News Group again. Look what we've got today, the Mitsubishi Outlander. Let's give it a spin. Remember, if you like these videos, don't forget to hit that like button below, as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way, you can be kept up to date with everything that's going on with the Fleet News Group. Go on, hit that like button. You know you want to. The Outlander, one of the top 10 novated lease vehicles in Australia today. Mitsubishi's gone a long way to change the styling of this car. It's, as they call it, outlandish. And I think it is. It's changed it in quite a good way. It's modernised it, give it a much more aggressive look, good road presence, good stance. Looks pretty good. The guards are much bigger at the front. The grille's more aggressive. The Mitsubishi design elements with the chrome on the front still remain. I think it's pretty good styling all around. The big lights, the foggies, it's all happening there. Along with a very nice set of 20-inch wheels running 255/40 R20 tyres. It's a lot more aggressive looking than its preceding model, which I always thought was rather conservative in its looks, but this sort of it tries to bulk it up and make it a much stronger road presence, and I think it achieves that. It's quite nice. Well, what's under the bonnet of the Outlander Exceed? There's a 2.5 litre 4-cylinder motor, rated at 135 kilowatts of power and 244 newton meters of torque. It is an 8-speed CVT transmission and it's all-wheel drive, along with having Mitsubishi's Super Select transmission mode system, which allows you to select different terrain types when you're driving. Fuel economy, Mitsubishi lists at 8.1 litres per 100 k's on the combined cycle. And it has a 55 litre fuel tank, so it's going to give you pretty good range as well. One thing it doesn't have though, gas struts. Sorry, dangly stickers there again. Well, here I am sitting in the Mitsubishi Outlander Exceed. Very comfortable place to be in here. Greeted by a leather wrapped steering wheel, easy to use controls on the steering wheel, and then for the instruments we have a 12.3 inch fully digital display. Very nice. It also has a heads up display which keeps you informed of some of the car's key functions like the speed and all that without even having to take your eyes off the road. Very nice indeed, I like them. Good safe option. We then have here a 9-inch infotainment touchscreen. You can select all you want here. You can see it's got Apple CarPlay, also has Android Auto, and there's dials on it as well, so you can adjust things rather than having to stab away blindly at the screen and taking your eyes off the road. Keeping in with that theme, we look here at the climate control. Again, we've got lovely big dials to adjust, buttons to push, so you can adjust all that stuff without having to take your eyes off the road. Leather everything. The seats in the front are heated as they are on the outboard seats in the rear. Nice quilted pattern in there, contrasting stitching, and then contrasting soft touch panels here as well. This is all leather. The top of the dash is actually plastic. Don't know if I like the tan brown contrast though. It's very out there, or as Mitsubishi would say, outlandish. But yeah, not my cup of tea. Seeing down, got my phone down there, wireless charging, because the Apple CarPlay is wireless. Very good. Leather touch on the transmission selector. And then we have the Mitsubishi Super Select multi-mode terrain selector. We've got it in normal mode there. We could put it in eco, move it across to tarmac, gravel, snow, or mud, depending on what traction requirements you have of the vehicle at the time. Nice pressed metal finish there. I like that silvery contrast to the ebony black piano type finish there. We've then got electric handbrake, auto hold function, and of course the good old coffee cup test. My big coffee cup in there fits nice and easy to get to. All very good, all very nice and comfortable here inside the Mitsubishi Outlander Exceed. Well, here I am in the third row seat of the Outlander Exceed. Am I comfortable? No, absolutely not. Head's hitting the roof. I can't even sit up in the seat. It's really only for kids. That's all you could use this for. For anyone, adult, you couldn't put them in here, even if you didn't like them. I'm sorry, I don't really fit. Yeah, but it's an ID 5+2, they say. It's not a 7-seater, just for an emergency situation. Maybe you're at soccer training and you got a couple of little extra kids you got to ferry home in the evening. That's what the purpose of this seat is. I really wouldn't see it as a practical option for a family to use on a regular basis. Well, this is much better, much more comfortable here in the second row seat. I've got good knee room, good headroom, good toe room. It's quite nice and comfortable here. Of course, we've got the cup holders in the armrest. Acts as a bit of a ski port to allow for longer items from the boot to come through. Just fold it up out of the way when you don't want it. And it's a 5-seater. Lovely leather seats with a nice orange stitching in them there as well. They're also heated in the back on the outsides. Very nice, as you'd expect on the top of the line model that the Exceed is. We've got temperature control down here as well for the rear zone air control, and little screens if Bubs is in here, and put the downer up as need be. And of course we've got privacy glass as well as standard in the back. It's very nice here in the rear seat of the Outlander Exceed. Quite comfortable to travel here. Well, all SUVs wouldn't be an SUV if they didn't have a good dose of practicality. Need to be versatile and convenient. Outlander Exceed certainly does that. Power tailgate, of course. And you're looking here and it's set up with the third row seat up as well. It's a 5+2-seater, Mitsubishi calls it, because the third row seat's really only for temporary use. Right now, luggage capacity here in the back with all 3 rows of seats up, it's 163 litres. But what if you need a bit more space? Been to Bunnings or something. We just take off the headrest, put them away inside here, pull the little cords, and there's now 478 litres of space. You've been to IKEA. Bought that flat pack you wanted to have at home. All very good. Pull the lever, down she goes, and again on the other side, and there's now 1,473 litres of space. Big enough for those purchases that you didn't plan, big enough to help you move around or whatever, all packed for a big country trip. All good. Well, here I am driving the Mitsubishi Outlander Exceed. 2.5 litre 4-cylinder motor. It's pretty responsive. Put your foot down and she gets up and goes quite nicely. It's got the 8-speed CVT transmission, so it's very, very smooth, and once you're used to it, just a normal part of everyday life. It just means it's comfortable to drive. It really is. Smooth, everything's unfussed with it. It just does it all quite well. Nice to drive. Beautifully appointed inside. Of course, it's got all the usual safety suite features. It's got lane keeping assist, lane departure warning, adaptive cruise control. It has the forward collision mitigation, all those nice safety features, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert. Just makes it a nice, safe car to drive. Versatile and practical. It is a 5+2 seat option, as we've shown you. Basically, it's a nice, comfortable 5-seater with 2 emergency seats in the back. If you have a couple extra kids, you just have to ferry around for a short distance. I think it's a great car to drive. It's well laid out, beautiful big instrument clusters, everything about the car. It feels quite quality, and it just feels nice, comfortable, easy to live with every day. It's one of those cars you just get in, push the start button, and away you go. And on top of that, Mitsubishi's 10-year, say that again, 10-year warranty. That's more than most people will ever keep the car for. It's just brilliant. Yes, you do have to have it serviced by the Mitsubishi dealer to activate that, but it comes with cap price servicing and free roadside assist when you have the car serviced at Mitsubishi. I think it is an absolutely great value proposition, and for your next novated lease, I think you'd be well impressed with how well this will stack up when you look at it both in the financials and also driving it around and living with it every day. It'll suit your lifestyle right down to the ground. I'm sure you'll like it. Mitsubishi has the Outlander as an all-wheel drive, and with its Super Select transmission, it can actually take you off-road quite comfortably. It's got the different terrain modes, gravel, snow, mud, all that stuff to help with traction on those kind of surfaces. But when you go off-road, there's some important angles and things you need to be aware of as well. The approach angle, how much clearance does it have at the front? On this car, that's 18 degrees. The departure angle at the back, so when you drop down, how sharp's it got to be before the bumper bar hits the ground? That's 22.2 degrees. And the ramp over angle underneath the car when you go over the top of the hill is 18.1 degrees. Coupled with the 210mm ground clearance underneath, it'll go pretty much any rough track you want to go on, within reason of course. It's not a variable full-time four-wheel drive vehicle. It doesn't have low range. I wouldn't recommend it to go on the beach or the like, but certainly doing bush tracks through the national park, stuff like that, it's going to help you out every day. Outlander also has not a bad towing capacity at 1600 kilos brake towing. It's not the biggest car in the world. It's not a 4x4 Ute or a Land Cruiser or anything like that, so it's not going to pull 3.5 tonne. With 1600 kilos, it gets you a decent sized boat, small caravan, it'll all be good. Well, let's talk about warranty and servicing on the Outlander. Mitsubishi offers a standard 5-year 100,000 kilometre warranty with this vehicle, and you can have it serviced at your usual authorised service centre. But there's more to the story. If you have the car serviced at a Mitsubishi dealership, Mitsubishi will extend the warranty to 10 years or 200,000 kilometres. That's more than the lifetime most people keep the cars. Novated leases might be 4 or 5 years, and you could actually use it as a selling point when selling the car, but you'll still have it included factory warranty till it's up to 10 years old. I think that's really good. But what's the advantage of servicing? Well, first up, when you have it serviced at a Mitsubishi dealership, they will give you complimentary roadside assist program. Most manufacturers do. Every time you get the car serviced, it renews for a new time period and it covers you for a roadside assistance. So there's other expenses you don't have to pay for. But they also offer a cap price service plan for up to 10 years or 150,000 Ks, whichever comes first. The service intervals in this car are once every 12 months or every 15,000 kilometres. So multiply that out, 150,000 Ks, 10 years, the annual service every year, cap price servicing for the entire life of the 10-year program. That's good peace of mind motoring into the future. Well, what's the price for this Mitsubishi Outlander Exceed? As you see it right here, right now, it's $57,450 drive away in New South Wales. That includes the $740 for the nice silver paint job as well. Not too bad a price. It's a lot of car for not that much coin, comparatively. It is the top of the line with all the bells and whistles, but if you're looking for a luxury SUV, mid-size, with a little bit more versatility than normal, this may well be a good option for you. The Mitsubishi Outlander Exceed. I think it's a very nice car, one that's very comfortable to live with every day. It's great around town, comfortable out in the open road, it's quiet, very well equipped inside. It's just something you'd be happy with to use every day. Probably why it's one of the most popular vehicles going in the novated leasing space in Australia today. I think she's a nice car, I've enjoyed my time driving it, and if you're looking for a 5+2, a pseudo 7-seater, give you a bit of versatility and practicality, I think you'd be very happy with this vehicle. Certainly well worth your consideration in considering your next novated lease. If you like these videos, remember, hit that like button below and the subscribe button and the bell notification so you can be kept up to date with all the latest news at Fleet News Group. I'm Rod, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.